Alright, shalawam. First, giving all credit to YAHAWAH BAHASHam YAHAWASHI and the double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone. Just doing a quick video. Gonna title this update on the mark of the beast. This article is actually a couple of weeks old. They actually wanted to do a video on this a while ago, but I'm just tied into some other things, studying and researching other things. But nevertheless, but basically, this article is well, I'll actually read some of it. I'll get into some of it. It says Apple and Google team up to contact trace the coronavirus. The technology giants said they would embed a feature in iPhones and Android devices to enable users to track infected people they come close to. It says that one of the most far-ranging attempts to halt the spread of the coronavirus, Apple and Google said they were building software into smartphones that would tell people if they were recently in contact with someone who was infected with it. So basically, these tech giants, they create this, pretty much creating this technology to where, in your phone, where, you get within a certain range of certain people, and they will be able to tell if they're, infected with this coronavirus. This technology is going to be able to tell if, like, you're, standing 6 feet apart and all these other things. I'm going to get into some more of this article. It says the technology giants said they were teaming up to release a tool within several months, building it into the operating systems of the billions of iPhones and Android devices around the world that would enable the smartphones to constantly log other devices they come near, enabling what is known as contact tracing of the disease. People would opt in to use the tool and voluntarily report if they became infected. Reading on, it says the unlikely partnership between Google and Apple fierce rivals who rarely pass up an opportunity to criticize each other. I'm gonna jump down to the next. It says their work could prove to be significant in showing the spread of the coronavirus. Public health authorities have said that improved tracking of infected people and their contacts could slow the pandemic, especially at the start of an outbreak, and such measures have been effective in places like South Korea that also conducted mass virus testing. So basically, first and foremost, like they mentioned these other countries, like this article, it mentioned South Korea. A lot of these other countries, I believe India, Sweden, all these other countries, you don't hear much about China anymore, because again, a lot of these countries, they've already accepted the pretty much the New World Order. A lot of these countries, they're already down with, they already have the chip, basically, because again, that RFID chip, it is the mark of the beast. But over here, as I mentioned, in previous videos, Esau, they believe in gradualism. All this technology that they're building up is going to eventually, it's going to lead to the mark of the beast. Because if you look at it, because again, with this technology, it's going to be able to track, people in your surroundings. It's going to be able to tell you somehow if other people have have this coronavirus or whatnot. Other people have been affected or whatnot. But the thing is with that, some things might happen. Like someone might lose their phone, or somebody might break their phone, or whatever the case may be. So eventually, it's going to lead to the chip. which is something that they're going to insert inside. It's something they're going to put inside you. All right, so as always, you got to get the precepts, because again, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. This mark of the beast, the technology that they're pushing out there. This is what it's all leading to. So starting off with the book of Revelations 13 and verse 16, it says, "And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." So again, basically, with all this technology that they got brewing up, it's all going to lead to this. Now, if you go into, I'm not going to get into it, because again, I've already did previous videos on this. But if you go into that word mark, it goes back to the word karagma, which goes back to the word karax, which means something inserted. So again, this is going to be something that they're going to put inside the body, physically insert inside the body. All right, and that's what this all is leading to at the end of the day. Because again, with these phones and a lot of the stuff that we have, like these phones and our cars, our debit cards, they already have the chip on it. But again, these things, there is something, they could be lost or stolen, damaged. So, eventually, Esau is going to present in a way, it's more convenient. You don't have to walk around with money, but the thing with money is, soon that's going to be obsolete, completely obsolete. But it's going to come a point in time where you're not going to have to walk around with money, or physical cash, or any type of identification or social security cards, or any of that, because everything's going to be on that chip. All your information is going to be on that chip. And again, a lot of these countries, they're already practicing this. They already have it to where you just scan the chip, and you can drive cars and open building doors and make purchases. A lot of these countries, they already have the mark of the beast. They already have this chip. So but slowly but surely, this is what Esau, their plan, is for everyone to be chipped. So this is what this is all leading to. And I'm going to read on to verse 17. It says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." So again, that chip is going to have, it's basically going to be the new convenience, the new fad. Esau is going to present in a way, it's going to be more convenient. It's probably going to present in a way, it's going to be, the new popular thing, and the people, the mass majority, they're going to flock to this. They're going to take that chip. All right. But again, Esau, they're slowly but surely, and this is I just reading one of the seeing one of the elders videos, and talking about how this is pretty much because back in slavery, they had the yoke, pretty much like the heavy burden on the slaves and whatnot, and this is more so a digital yoke. So again, because if you what is that? And again, because this is Esau's way of tightening the screws on society. All right. It all goes back to that his draconian laws. In the same chapter, if you just go up to verse 11, it says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." So again, that word dragon, it goes back to draconian. And if you look up, like draconian laws, basically, it's like a harsh set of rules. All right. And this is the same beast. Well, America is nothing more than because these draconian laws, they they were practiced during the Roman Empire. Um, if you read in the book of Daniel, I believe it's the 7th chapter, it talks about that beast, that fourth beast, which was diverse from all the other beasts. Um, um, when the Roman Empire came into power, they were different from all the other empires because they had their you read about the what is it, the um what is it called? I believe it's called the Flavians and the Patricians, something along those lines, which is basically that would be called today the Republicans and the Democrats. Um, this is something, again. This is something that was practiced in the Roman Empire. So America is nothing more than a regurgitation of the Roman Empire. So, and that's where you get these, when it talks about how they spake like a dragon. That's where you get you get, because again, all these draconian laws that they're pushing down now, they got it from this was going on during the Roman Empire. Because again, it talks about how it talks about how that beast that was healed, that you read about the Roman Empire and when it fell, and then it was it basically it came back through reincarnation as the American this American system. Okay. Um, Again, I'm not going to get in too much in detail with it because I did videos in the past already. But like I said, they're tightening down on these draconian laws. And then again, it's eventually going to lead to this mark of the beast. So that's why they're they got this technology. They're starting to push it out more and more. There's articles coming out on how now they're going from door to door. When it comes to testing and things like that. And these vaccinations, they're going door to door. Seeing if people have been tested, seeing if people are infected. I believe they're starting to, there's reports, if I'm not mistaken, there's reports about that in Georgia, how they're going to door to door. They can possibly kick you out of your home and all type of things. Like I said in the beginning of this show, I this article is a few weeks old, but and I haven't really had the time to jump on it yet because there's just so much information coming out. I've been doing studying and research on other things. So Lord's will, I can continue to push these videos because there's a lot of information coming out. As Apostle Elder Tahar, he deemed this year a year of prophecy, and it's been nothing but prophecies. So there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things are taking place, and this mark of the beast is one of the major signs. It's one of the major prophecies that has to take place, as well as World War III, but more so dealing with this mark of the beast. This is one of the major prophecies that have to take place. So, this is something to definitely be on the lookout for. But yeah, this is something you gotta definitely be on the lookout for. All this this technology and whatnot. It's all leading up to this chip. I just want to see if there's anything else I want to get in this article. So again, basically they're creating this app to where it can this contact tracing to where basically it can detect people around you if if they got this coronavirus or not or whatnot. So just want to see if there's anything else I want to get in before I close it out. supposedly this app that they're coming up with, it's able to detect if you've been, um, you know, what is it called? The whole 6 feet thing. This app, it has a technology to detect if you, come 6 feet within, certain individuals. It sends a database to, I guess it would be the headquarters or whatever. I don't know, whatever, wherever they send this information to. Um, you know, it would notify their headquarters and whatnot. And if you come in contact with someone who's been affected, they can possibly pay you a visit. You know, um, they can force these vaccinations. This is all a part of the draconian laws. This might sound good to the people, but again, Esau is, he's very crafty. He's very crafty with with these things. So, um, this is just something to be on the lookout for. Um, um, it says with the tool, people infected with the coronavirus will notify a public health app that they have. Will notify a public health app that they have it, which would then alert phones that had recently come in proximity with that person's device. The companies will need to get public health authorities to agree to link their app to the tool. So yeah, coming in contact with someone who has this coronavirus, is send a link to some type of database. Um, you know, you might end up having, like I said, people show up at your doorstep, saying you came in contact with this person who has the coronavirus, and you have to get vaccinated. So all type of stuff, you know. Um, as it says right here, privacy is a concern given that Google in particular has a checkered history of collecting people's data for its online advertising business. Yeah, this is something that's well known. There's no reason you could be having a conversation with someone, talking about buying, and this happens all the time. I see this all the time. It's no coincidence. You could be having a conversation talking about, oh, I need curtains for my, new drapes for my bathroom, and then later on during the day, you might might be scrolling through Facebook and you see all type of ads talking about, curtains and drapes and all type of stuff. Because it's no secret. Big Brother. They're always watching. They're always paying attention. So that's one of the concerns. That's pretty much what this is talking about. It says the internet search company came under fire in 2018 after it said that disabling people's location history on Android phones would not stop it from collecting location data. That's pretty much on the article. I don't want to get too much into that, but yeah, basically, because like I said earlier, um, with these things like our debit cards and our cell phones, and they can easily be damaged, lost, stolen, whatever the case may be. So, like I said, eventually it's going to come a point where eventually they're just going to come up with this chip, and they're gonna, this chip, they're gonna put it in. It's something that's gonna be inserted inside the body. And that way, you don't have to worry about your identity being stolen. You don't have to worry about none of that. So, but as it says, because this is all Esau. He wants to, because it's known throughout the scriptures. The Most High, he sees everything, as it says in the book of Ecclesiasticus. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, meaning he sees everything. Knowing there's nothing that you can't do that the Most High can't see. No thought that you think, and the angels are right there, not recording it. Um, so, and this is what Esau aimed to do. As always, gotta pull the precept. I'm gonna look for this real quick. You know, Esau's mission, his purpose, his job in his mind is to exalt himself as the Most High. So that's why, you know, you have cameras on every corner and every street. You know, um, that's why, you know, pretty much Esau, they want to exalt themselves as the Most High. So that's why, you know, they create this technology. It's going to be able to track, you know, your every movement and all that. Bear with me. Might be 1 Thessalonians. Let's try chapter 1. Bear with me. Right. Second Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. So, the second coming of Yahawashi, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus, that his second coming couldn't come unless the children of Israel fell away first, which happened. And also reading on, it says, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, which is talking about Esau. All right. Verse 4, it says, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. So again, point being, Esau, he wants to exalt himself to be the Most High, because again, as I quoted in Ecclesiasticus, it says the eyes, let me just get it. See, this is Esau's, this is his plan, his grand scheme. What happened? So his big idea with this technology, this is what this technology is leading to. Him exalting himself as the Most High. And if you take that chip, you're succumbing to, you're basically exalting Esau as your God, because that's ultimately that's his plan. And he wants to exalt himself as the Most High on this earth. You know, the spiritual demon Satan. You know, he's because Satan has, you know, said this before. He's not more than you know, he's not more than basically he works for the Most High. All right, you have spirits on the right hand, you have spirits on the left hand, and Satan, he's the top spirit on the left hand. So the spiritual demon Satan, you know, he's put it into the mind of Esau, you know, that he stands a chance. You know, he's put it in the heart of Esau that he can stand up against the Most High. That's why you see Esau, you know, they're talking, with this whole Space Force thing, and now they're talking about, there's an article talking about how, you know, now they're starting to do you know, recruitment for the Space Force, because Esau, they actually think they have a chance, because they understand. That's why, again, it came out that the Pentagon, they pretty much confirmed so-called UFOs, which are chariots according to the Bible. But Esau, you know, they know that eventually there's going to come a day, which we're vastly approaching. There's coming a time where Yahawashi, he's going to come with these angels. You know, they're going to be out here getting busy. Esau knows these things. That's why they came up with this whole Space Force thing, right? But the point I want to get It says 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Where's that at? All right. So, Sirach 23 and 19. And this is, again, like I said, this is Esau's, this is his whole goal. This is his mission. This is what he thinks he's going to accomplish. So the book of Ecclesiasticus 23 and 19, it says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So the same way, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, he knows all things. Your thoughts. There's nothing that's done in secret that the Most High, nothing that's done that he doesn't know about. And this is Esau's purpose. This is his goal. He wants to get it to where he sees all things. That's why you have on the back of the the dollar bill, you have the all-seeing eye. They want to get to this point that they know all. They know all things. They see all things. They control all things. All right. And that chip, once they start introducing that chip and start pushing it, because soon it's going to be mandatory. At first, like this vaccine, they're making it voluntary, but soon they're going to make that vaccine mandatory. And it's the same way with the chip, because they believe in gradualism. They believe in building things up. So the same way with this chip, eventually they're gonna make it voluntary. And again, people are gonna start flocking to it. But you got the men of the Lord, the prophets, and primarily the men of Greatmillstone. They're exposing all of Esau's, all of his tricks, right? That's why they're about to shut the internet down, and that's why they're about to, martial law is about to be fully implemented. Because again, the men of the Lord, the prophets, they're out there in the highways and byways. They're out here exposing all of Esau's lies and all his tricks. People are going to start waking up. People are already waking up. So that's why Esau's going to start cranking down, because it tells you in the book of Revelations. I believe the 12th chapter talks about how the devil knows that he has but a short time. Matter of fact, let me just get it. Revelations 12 and 12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And this is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. This is talking about his physical counterpart, Esau. Again, because the men of the Lord, the prophets, they're out there exposing all these things. A lot of people are starting to wake up. So that's why they have to crack down on these things. That's why Trump just came out with this whole Operation Warp Speed thing, where they're talking about how they're pretty much in a rush and to push for a vaccine, because again, all their folly is being exposed. So but again, you've had the men of the Lord, they've talked about this mark of the beast, this whole RFID chip being a mark of the beast. They talked about this for decades. But again, now that they have the internet out, this truth that's pushed forth throughout the four corners of the earth. So again, you have people waking up. You have Jake's are waking up to their heritage. Jake is waking up by waking up in the numbers. So that's why Esau, they're gonna start speeding things up, right? So, but basically, going back to this whole chip, that's why ultimately that's the I was gonna say that's the end all be all, but which is those nuclear missiles. That's the end all be all. But that mark of the beast. Um, that's one of the major prophecies. We're watching out for. We're looking out for. Um, Now you do your research about Mark ID 2020. What is that? Yeah, ID 2020. So this is something that they're going to start pushing out. This is something to be on the lookout for. So I don't want to prolong this anymore. So that was pretty much it. So with that being said, I want to give all credit to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and a double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone. And until the next time, I say shalawam.